We have been seeing Billy Carson on many podcasts, but in my opinion, he's not answering any of the questions correctly. He's not giving any context. I'm going to help him out. I'm going to answer the question the way he should have answered the question. Let's get into the video.
In the Bible, where you see the word God everywhere, that's a mistranslation by accident on purpose. The original word is gods with an S. It's always with an S. When you back engineer the actual word, the translations, you find out it's gods, not God singular. Elohim is also a plural term.
So he says that is a mistranslation and that is plural is gods, right? And if we look into the Hebrew Bible, it says Elohim, which is plural for God. Now Christians would say, well, it's used in the singular tense, which it could be used in the singular tense. A lot of biblical scholars agree with them. But if you read it in context, it seems like it's speaking of multiple gods. Because in the Bible, it says, God created man in our image. Let's create man in our image, in our likeness. Speaking to other gods. We move to Exodus. Exodus 15, verse 11. The song to God, it says, who among the gods is like you, Lord? Exodus 20, verse 3, it says, you may not have any other gods before me. Exodus 23, verse 13, it says, don't invoke other gods. Do not let them hear of your lips. So if he's suggesting that other gods can hear you, he's also suggesting that there are other gods. So yes, we have multiple gods in the Old Testament because the God of the Old Testament is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not the God of the Canaanites or the Hivites. Every tribe has their own gods in the Bible, and they're fighting for the territory. That's what Billy Carson should have answered. Let's go into the next part of the video.
He was trying to usher back a level of Christ consciousness back in humanity, and that's the return. The second return is when we all reach a level of Christ consciousness. That's when Jesus comes back. He comes back in our minds, not in a physical form.
How many people agree with what you have to say? How many people agree with this?
Well, I got 8 million people following my accounts across all platforms. I mean, I don't know.
So I'm not talking about that part. Of course, you know, when you're talking with this level of firmness, there's a lot of that's why I'm curious. I'm curious to know, how you come up with your beliefs.
Yeah.
But why is it, if that's what you believe in, more people don't believe in that? Why do you think such a small sect?
When you're born, you're given a name, a race, and a religion,
right,
and you spend the rest of your life defending a false identity. You don't know who you are. I don't know who I am.
So he was asked, why don't more people believe in this? And he says, oh, I have 8 million subscribers throughout my platform. That's not what he's asked. Let's go into Christ consciousness. Where did this come from? It comes from Hinduism. Hindus have their own interpretation of the Bible, and they believe that Christ is the state of mind that you could achieve, because in the Bible says Jesus Christ is inside of you. So if Jesus is going to resurrect, he's going to resurrect within his believers. This is what they call samadhi, which is a blissful state of mind. So do more people believe this? Yes, there's about 1.1 billion Hindus in the world. 95% of them are in India anyways, but a lot of people do believe this, and we have a lot of spiritual seekers who are currently believing this as well. I feel like this is what he should have answered. Where did we get this from? We go to the book of John. But first of all, let's go into the book of Luke, where it says Jesus grew in wisdom. He didn't know it all, so he's not God. God knows it all. Jesus didn't know it all. When did he grow in wisdom? He grew in wisdom throughout the years that he was out of the Bible. That's what they believe. They believe he was in India learning the Vedas and evolving spiritually. They believe the yoga that he did was Kriya Yoga. That's how he reached a higher state of consciousness, which Hindus believe that we all can. In the Bible, he says that he realized that the Father and him are one. But we believe that applies to every single person once they realize. John 14 says, Jesus said, you can do greater things that I do. Gospel of Thomas, verse 108, he says, he who will drink from my mouth will become like me. I myself shall become he, and the things that are hidden will be revealed to him. And Jesus obviously says in the Gospel of Thomas that we can become like him. We have to follow certain principles, which is following the path of Christ to be like Christ. And I feel like this is what Billy Carson should have answered. He didn't answer the questions correctly. I still agree with a lot of things he has to say. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.